All right, exponential equations with common bases. So for example, if we had 9 to the 2x minus 3 equals 81 to the 3x plus 2 over the square root of 27, we need to look for a common base. So look at the 9, the 81, and the 27, and think of a factor of all those. Hopefully you said 3 will go into all those. We know 9 will as well, actually. But we want to break it down to the smallest one. So 3 would be 3 to the what power is 9? 3 to the second. So I'm going to distribute that to the 2x minus 3. Do the same thing for the top. 3 to the what power is 81? Well, 81 is 9 and 9 and then 3 and 3. So that's 4 3s. So that would be 3 to the fourth power. I'm going to distribute that to the 3x plus 2. And then on the bottom, we need to remember exponent over root. So it's going to be 3 to the exponent over the root. Well, what's our exponent? 27 is 9 times 3, which is 3 times 3 times 3. So that would be 3 to the third power over the root. Well, that's a square root, so it's really a 2 that's there. So it's 3 over 2. All right, now I'm going to distribute. And that becomes 3 to the 4x minus 6 equals 3 to the, distribute there, and we get 3 to the 12x plus 8 all over 3 to the 3 halves. And remember your rules when you're dividing with a common base, just like if you had x to the third over x, you really just subtract them. So it's 3 minus 1, that would be x squared. And proof of that would be x times x over x. The x's would cancel and you would have 2 x's left on top. So really you just subtract them. So since we subtract, it's going to be 12x plus 8. And I'm getting rid of the bases now. The bases we don't care about since they're all the same. So it's 12x plus 8 minus 3 halves is 1 and 1/2 equals the 4x minus the 6. And now I just solve. So again, when you have the same base, we ignore the bases. It's pretty cool. Makes it a lot less work. So ignore the bases after you get them all the same. And then we just solve for x. So I'm going to subtract 12x to both sides. And I get negative 8x minus 6 equals 8 minus 1/2 is 6.5. And then I add 6 to both sides. I get negative 8x equals 12.5. And I'm going to make that 12.5 a improper fraction. So 12.5 becomes what? 25 over 2. Let's see if I did that right. 2 times 12 is 24 plus the 1's 25 over 2. And then if I multiply by the reciprocal, negative 1/8, that cancels. And we get x equals negative 25 over 16. And that's my final answer.